What's up, everybody? I understand that this is probably going to be the only episode y'all see this week. Our editing software is down. As of right now, we're recording this on Wednesday night. We know that this episode will take little to no recording. It's going to be straight live, raw, and uncut, and a lot of the people in this group are exactly like that as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. You see the graphic, you see the title. It's the great debate from the two best arguers in V2. You've got Jackson, aka Cockmunch, and you got Will, aka Caillou. So, y'all see the stopwatch in the top right of your screen if you're on YouTube. What I'm going to be doing is presenting topics to each of the two individuals. They will have 2 minutes. 2 minutes time to prove why their side is better, and I will be the judge on who wins the argument. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. We have our first argument, and this one's going to hit home, but I know this is going to cause a really good one. Let's go ahead and talk about the fact that South Carolina's last 2 wins were, what are they called, everybody? Flukes?
Gimmicks.
Flukes. So, the person I want to hear from first, you already know, it is none other than Jackson. So, Jackson, I'm going to go ahead and count you down, and I'm going to start the clock. So, in 3, 2, 1, start your argument.
All right. So the past 2 games weren't a fluke. South Carolina ran a small, decent-sized playbook. They ran similar plays every single time. Tennessee has not seen this offense on film all season. Neither has Clemson. Both of these teams were affected by the pass defense because that was their weakness. South Carolina didn't have a passing offense all season until this game, these 2 games. They ran some of the plays they ran versus Vanderbilt, which were the only games that had even decent passing film at all. And South Carolina ran only, you could tell it was a different offense because they only ran screens for the majority of the season. They held the most screens in college football. And honestly, with this, they didn't have more than 1 screen versus either of these teams. They ran an entirely new offense, basically, and it was a simplified offense. They ran simple plays that benefited Rattler and Wells and the key players in the offense because they didn't have a rushing attack. They couldn't do what Satterfield needed to do, so they kind of fired him. They said he was relieved of his duties and just let somebody else cook. They ran a simplified version of the playbook they've ran all year. They ran simplified plays. They ran the same few plays. You saw those big third downs on Tennessee. They were the same plays if you look at the beginning routes. They were the same plays over and over again that just destroyed Tennessee because they haven't faced this all year. And Clemson, you saw Clemson, they pulled out even more. They ran a slightly bigger playbook than what they did versus Tennessee, but they still dominated Clemson. Once they found a rhythm, they went wild, and even the offensive line did pretty bad versus Clemson and Tennessee, but Rattler still managed to escape the pocket and still succeed in a play action, which he hasn't done all year. And because Hawks didn't run play action until they actually did versus
5,
Clemson or Tennessee,
4,
and they ran
3,
a offense and
2,
versus Notre Dame,
1.
and they couldn't do it because their weapons were out. They would have beaten Notre Dame if their
All
weapons weren't out.
all right. So now I'm gonna do a minute buffer and dispute what Jackson says, and then of course I'm gonna dispute what Will says after he says it. So let me go ahead and get my minute in. I don't know if you can call beating Clemson by a point actually beating Clemson, because I'm pretty sure you stated. Like, how'd you say y'all beat Clemson exactly? You used a very good adjective. No, you said you used a very good adjective. Come on.
I
Demolished? Demolished?
Yeah, we demolished them.
South
By
Carolina
1
won
point?
by a point.
We demolished them the entire second half. Hey, we started off slow,
Damn.
yes.
We
You only
demolished
outscored them by 10.
was Spencer throwing you the ball?
Oh, my bad. South
All
Carolina.
All right. Will, your time starts now.
Well, Jackson really made my point for me. He remember that at the beginning of his point where he said we ran a where South Carolina ran a simplified playbook. Remember when Jackson said that no one had film on South Carolina's playbook? If I remember correctly, South Carolina either ran from 3 to 7 plays in the Tennessee game, and in the first quarter against Clemson, when they were running those first 1 to 7 plays, it was not working at all. They had 0 points in the first quarter. They were getting little to no offensive production. It's just Tennessee didn't have the personnel to be able to stop those plays because, yes, they were good plays. They didn't have film or personnel to be able to stop it. Then South Carolina, to their credit, came out. They started running completely different things again in the second and third quarter. That's where they scored a combined 28 points. However, they were still down by 3. And in the fourth quarter, they managed a measly field goal to win the game. Really, Jackson? You're going to say that wasn't a fluke?
Yeah.
You ran a total combination of maybe 17 passing concepts. The main one being a Juice Wells dig from the slot. You probably ran Juice Wells on a dig in the slot more in these 2 games than you had the entirety of last season. And Clemson in the first and fourth quarter of that game, they started just shading in the second quarter, they started shading the safety right. Where was that safety? He was inside of the hash mark on every time, wherever Anton Wells lined up. So we need to hit that dig route. Oh, there's a safety there. So they started running like 12-yard out routes to the sideline, and that was working for a little bit. And then guess what? Clemson put the safety on the other side of the hash, and oh no, it got shut down again in the fourth quarter.
2, 1. All right. So it's me and another moderator. As you know, Philip Mason is a longtime intern at V2. So, Philip, who do you think won the argument?
Oh, I'm gonna have to say Will, just for the simple fact that Jackson repeated the same argument over and over. Smaller playbook, same plays being ran. Demolished Clemson when you won by 1. So Will had a lot more valid arguments in that argument.
All right. I like that, and that's the point I'm going with as well. So Will takes argument 1. Now,
Okay.
the time
Undefeated
frame,
streak.
The time frame was only for the first argument. We are now going to allow a free ball argument. All right? And it is one that I know these two are very passionate about just because of prior episodes we've recorded and had to hear them listen and scream about it. So, I'm going to be setting time up for 5 minutes. You both can scream and argue with each other because I know that you will on this topic. And the topic is Missouri. Now, the two people know what I'm talking about because they like to argue that Missouri's got a really underrated team, and Will likes to argue that they do not. So, I'm going to go ahead and count down. Whoever wants to start first, go for it. Preferably Jackson because I know that'll get Will riled up. So,
We're talking about the 23 team, right?
we can talk about the 22-23 team, whichever one y'all want to do. All right?
23.
Okay.
I actually kind of agree with them with the 22 Missouri team.
Okay, 23 team. Let's run with it. Y'all ready? Argument starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, go.
Jackson, name more.
You go first.
So there's 2 players on the defense that I know you know their names, the corner and the safety. Name another player.
Name another player than the corner and safety.
Yes.
Tyrone Hopper, Chad Bailey, Martez Manuel, DJ Coleman.
Now tell me,
What
do all these players have in common?
They don't suck. They were really underrated by PFF, and overall were underrated on the season. They had really high numbers and were really the top half of their position groups in the ACC.
So what did you say they graded out on? What was that website?
Said they were pretty highly graded on PFF, and I said
PFF?
overall as players, they had good play.
So do you just base all your opinions on PFF?
No, I don't. I don't.
So then
base
why
all
do you
my
always
opinions on-
constantly reference PFF to be able to win your arguments?
Reference the best.
This is the
PFF
point.
isn't the best.
Jackson
PFF
takes
isn't the best,
all.
but it works.
Jackson doesn't watch the games. Jackson just looks at
I do
PFF.
watch the games.
He
Tyron
just
Hopper
looks
was
at
one of the best linebackers in the
PFF.
SEC.
It says, "Oh, look, this linebacker looks
You're gonna
good."
say a
Even
guy
though,
with sacks,
look,
who has
dude,
to
those
play.
linebackers
One
can't
forced
drop
fumble,
into
one
coverage to
forced
save
fumble,
their
74
lives.
tackles, 16
Those
solo tackles. He's not
tackles,
a top
tackles.
linebacker.
Wow! I have good
I said
tackle
every
numbers
stat
as a
he had.
linebacker. You know, Blake Martinez had good tackle numbers too, and he was getting cooked in coverage.
But he wasn't even in pass coverage. He had 2 pass deflections. He had an
Once
interception.
Missouri's
He was
linebackers can prove to me they can guard a tight end, I will call them a good
Byron
defense.
Hopper could guard a tight end. He was really good for them. He was great for them.
Let's go look at this. Let's go look at
He was their
receiving yard
second
numbers
best
from
defensive
tight end.
player.
Let's go look at what their safety in the corner were 10 times better than he was.
Oh, he was the second best. He was better than Charleston.
Let's go Missouri football schedule.
I'll
Missouri football. Look at this, Jackson. Let's look at these tight end numbers here. How do you find Missouri's schedule?
Stats or schedule.
So their first
Or this
game,
year or last year?
Louisiana. Louisiana's tight end. Guess what he went for? 3 catches, 93 yards. Huh. Let's look at this. Kansas State.
I thought
Kansas
we were
State
talking
does
about
not.
2023, dude.
I know. I'm talking about what he's shown
Okay.
in the past. Because what he's
Oh.
shown in the past is the only thing that we have to go off of right now.
Yeah, I know. I was just
This tight end, 4 for 37. That's not terrible. Oh, I'm not even going to look at Auburn.
Yeah,
Auburn
I
can't
know.
throw the ball.
Hey, Missouri overall is an underrated team besides their quarterback.
This
Their
tight end
quarterback-
went 5 for 66. Another tight end went 3 for 64. The first tight end went 3 for 93. Oh, here's another tight end. What do you think he went for?
2 catches, 64.
Nope.
It's just spitballing.
In this game, the tight ends went for 70 more yards. Dude, these tight ends are giving up like 60 yards a game. Or these linebackers
Yeah.
are giving up 60 yards a game, and you're trying to call them good. I don't know what you are.
No,
talking.
I'm saying Hopper's good. I'm not saying the other linebacker's good. I'm Chad Bailey. I'm not saying Bailey's good. I'm saying Hopper's a good. Hopper is an elite level tight end. I said tight end linebacker. I'm slow. He's an elite level linebacker, and I don't think Chad Bailey is. I think Chad Bailey is kind of a liability as a coverage guy. He's pretty good as a hard hitter, and that's why he is starting.
How are they going to score
He's not-
points next year?
What?
How are they going to score?
What?
How are they going to score?
How is Missouri gonna score?
Yeah, how is Missouri going to score points? We've already proved they don't have defense other than the quarterback and safety. Your PFF grades are inadequate.
Okay. What's the question of this debate?
How are they going to score?
How is Missouri going to score? Through their wide receivers, they have a lethal offensive line that they picked up in the transfer portal. They have 2 good.
So you really
good
trust the
tackles.
transfer portal offensive line?
Yes,
have you
I
ever seen
do.
that work before?
Yes, I have.
Where?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Florida last season they took a first-round talent guard.
They
and he was
took
elite.
one guard. The rest of the guys were already on the roster. That's a
Yeah,
plug and play
I know.
piece. Missouri took their
Yeah.
whole offensive line out of the portal. Have you ever seen that work?
Not a whole
before?
offensive line, but can't. Hey, you get Marcellus Johnson, you get Cameron Johnson, who both were top
Who?
levels in the country at tackle. What? Marcellus Johnson and
3, 2,
Johnson.
1. All right.
That was a really boring argument.
No, the first
Can
3
you
minutes
get
were
more time?
absolutely beautiful. Oh, do you want more time?
Please.
All right, you know what? We're going into sudden death. You get an extra 5 minutes. Go.
Okay. So, Missouri, I didn't even get to answer his question. Missouri can score even with Brady Cook, because Brady Cook might be pretty mid, but guess what? He had 20 touchdowns and 7 picks. He didn't have that bad of a season. He wasn't that bad, and he can break out to even better year. He's not that horrible. His wide receiver core is really good. You might have lost.
His offensive line is
I
worse.
admit.
His receivers are worse. His running
His
backs
offensive
are
line
worse.
isn't worse.
His
His
tight end is
offensive line
worse.
gets better by probably double. His offensive line gets insanely better. Yeah,
Dude,
I'd argue it's a top 5 line in the
Have you
SEC.
ever seen an offensive line get completely overhauled by the portal?
No. And it didn't get over.
So how can you trust it to work?
Tackles.
You know what makes the
didn't
best
get
offensive
overall-
lines? Experience and time played together. Guess what these guys
Both of these
don't
tackles
have?
were
The
lethal
experience
at where
and the
they
time
were.
played together.
They were both highly rated tackles. They are good tackles. They
They
return
were
their
both
guards
highly
and they
rated
return their
tackles?
center. The tackles are brilliant. They have the offensive line. They have the guards. The guards are there.
Yes.
The
Yes,
center.
this tackle from Houston is going to be able to compete in the SEC. This tackle
Yes, the
from
tackle that was
Eastern
one of the
Michigan
best
is going to
tackles in
be
the
able
country.
to compete in the
Yes.
SEC.
Yes, the 4-star transfer tackle.
Dude,
Yes.
I guarantee
Hey,
Marcellus
I argue they're
Johnson
better than
is
some
going
of
to
the
get
teams
shit on
in the SEC.
against
I
SEC
guarantee you
competition.
they are elite and all SEC level. I guarantee you
Elite?
this might be the second best
Elite?
offensive line in the SEC.
What?
Dude, have you not seen these guys? Have you not
How are
watched
they better
football?
than
You're
Bam?
talking
Bama's
shit,
offensive
and
line
you
next year
can't
is going
even
to have
explain
Elijah
yourself.
Pritchett,
Watch their
J.C.
games.
Latham,
Oh
Caden
my gosh.
Proctor, Seth
You're
McLaughlin, and
saying,
Tyler Booker. Georgia's
oh my
offensive line
gosh,
is
he's
going to
from
have
Houston.
Ernest Green,
Guess where
Amarius
that guard
Mims,
from
Tate
Florida was
Ratledge,
from?
Zion, Xavier
Louisiana.
Truss,
Oh,
and
what did
what?
he do? He was a first-round talent. Cameron
Are you
Johnson
still on
is
the
a
Osiris
first-round
Torrance
talent.
thing? That's one player.
I'm saying Cameron Johnson is on his level as a transfer. He is good. Watch
What?
him. You're saying what? But you're not explaining yourself. Watch the games. Hey, why are
What?
you talking?
I did
You're
watch
saying all
Cameron
this-
Johnson.
No, you
I watched
didn't.
Cameron Johnson get shit on in the Cincinnati game.
When did he get? Okay, where? Show me. Show
The
me.
Cincinnati game. Go watch the Cincinnati game.
I've watched every game, almost.
Houston versus Cincinnati. Let's go look at your precious little PFF here for pressure numbers.
Hey. Okay.
Let's go look at the pressure numbers.
Missouri, they have a lot of talent in their offense. And they utilize it with their quarterback. Yes, if he has an offensive line, and I think he has a lethal offensive line. Their running
A
game is
lethal
okay.
offensive line?
Yes, a lethal offensive line. They have a
A
really good wide
lethal
receiver
offensive
core.
line, dude.
They have a really good
I
wide
can't
receiver
take you
core.
seriously. Two group of 5 transfers at tackle.
Oh my gosh, the group of 5. Are you really like? Okay, whatever. DOEs they got in the portal to replace Dominic Lovett. Lovett.
He's not as good as Lovett.
The O-line.
What?
Are you still arguing about the O-line and then immediately jump to a receiver?
Dude,
jumped to the
Marcellus
receiver
Johnson
core.
is 6'4", 270. 270's not holding up in the SEC. Please tell me how a 270-pound offensive tackle is going to hold up.
Oh my gosh, that is his coming out of high school. That's his size and height. Look at Missouri's. Thing.
Look at Missouri's page. Yeah, I really trust schools.
Or look at Eastern Michigan's page. It's him coming out of high school, dude.
He was not 260 pounds.
270, 6'4", 270.
Figure it out. What? Why do you trust 255 tackles to hold up that are both under 300 pounds?
Because they're not. That's where they were in high school.
I'm not looking at high school. I'm literally looking at the transfer portal rankings.
I'm checking.
270.
Yeah, I know. That is not them now.
If this is the transfer portal that he's reading, that is exactly what they're at.
No, he's reading from their. No, he's reading.
I'm not reading from the portal. I'm literally looking at On3 transfer portal. It literally said, dude,
Marcellus Johnson, high school.
His transfer portal says 275 and his high school says 270.
Time up. All right, listen. Philip, moderator, who do you take?
Will won again, not gonna lie. Jackson had some terrible arguments. He tried to for an offensive line, gave up 26 sacks. Then he tries to say a team can score with a quarterback who only threw for 14 passing yards, rushed for more rushing yards than the rest of his running back core except for one running back. And then he didn't have a single receiver who had except for one. He had one receiver who had over 500 yards. And the receiver that had the most yards didn't even have the most touchdowns. So I can't support his arguments.
All right. So getting into this next argument.
Before we get into it, he's 6'4", 308, by the way, according to his last year.
The way that we can throw Jackson a handicap real quick, because he's currently down 2-0, and this is going to be a gimme for Jackson unless Will surprises me. Earlier today, y'all were arguing about baseball in the group chat. care to tell me what that topic was?
It was Petrie versus Condon.
All right.
Ethan Petrie, a true freshman versus Condon, redshirt freshman. We were arguing for the freshman of the year.
All right. You have, and this is going to be a lightning round. Are y'all ready?
Oh, God.
Ready? You have 3 minutes. Free ball, meaning I'm not stopping until the 3 minutes. You can speak within the 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes to argue. Ready, set, debate.
No. I'm not ready.
God,
I'm not ready.
you're so...
Jackson, what is the
only
award
because I need
called?
to pull this
Name
up.
Name the award. Name the award.
No,
Name the award.
I said
Name the
one
award
second.
you're
It's
arguing
not the
about.
time. Hey,
Name the
whoa.
award.
The argument hasn't even started.
to
Hold on,
look at
whoa, damn. Will started coming out.
I'm about to kill him right here. He's not going to be ready for this. He's going to pull up some stupid ass RISP stat. Runners in scoring position, batting average.
Because Georgia doesn't have runners in scoring position, so Charlie Condon only gets solo stuff. Sorry, with runners on scoring
How does that
position,
make him a worse
you can
player?
catch me
How does that
solo.
make him a worse player?
I'm not. Okay. Can we start it now, Jason?
Yep, you ready?
This little pussy boy can't even start on time.
I had to
5,
pull up Charlie
4,
Condon's D1
3,
stats.
2, 1.
Jackson, what is the name of the award? Just tell me.
Freshman.
Just tell me. What is it?
Player of the year. SEC Freshman of the Year. Or are we talking about like all of baseball? Freshman of the year.
6'5". We're talking
Not the
about
SEC
what is the name of the award? It's freshman of the year, right? Of the year, right? Do you know what year is? Year is the entire thing that happens on the calendar. The baseball
I
calendar includes the non-conference schedule. Who has the
know.
best stats in every category
Except
over the
for-
entire year? Over the entire year. Who has the higher batting average? Who has the higher slugging? Who has the higher on base percentage? Who has the higher OPS? Who has the higher walk
Who's better
rate?
when the pitching matters? Better
It-
versus the highest pitchers in the SEC. Who
By what?
win
Like
against
0.1?
Charles Steins?
By 0.1?
No, not by point one.
By 0.1? Or 0.2? Dude, it's freshman of the
360,
year,
388.
not freshman of the last
It's by
3 weeks.
0.28.
It's
by
not freshman of the
0.28.
year. It's freshman. It's not freshman of the last 2 weeks. Jackson. It's freshman of the year. Freshman of the year. It doesn't only encompass. It doesn't only encompass SEC play. You can't just cut the year in half.
The harder SOS outside of the conference. South Carolina.
Why?
played
Because you
harder
played 10?
outside of the conference.
Because you played 10 in Ivy League
Yeah.
school? You played in
my God,
Ivy League
man.
school and you say your schedule is
Who was
harder?
worse?
We played in
for
Ivy.
who was worse?
We played in Ivy League school.
An Ivy League school that's been pretty good this season. We also played Clemson, who's going to be a top 10 team.
Guess what?
And they
We
probably
also
will
played Clemson.
Dude, are you taking the bus
Oh,
with
yes,
Petrie as
but you
well?
didn't play them in a series. played
Are you
them
taking
in
the
two
bus
big
with
week games.
Petrie? Are you taking the bus with Petrie? You swapping out his cup for him?
Yes!
What?
Yes!
You are?
Okay. Let me tell you something. Tim Petrie in conference. Charlie Condon does not touch this guy. With runners in scoring position
Dude,
or normal.
dude,
Because he's
runners in
hitting
scoring position
0.28
doesn't tell you how good of a
higher.
player is. It tells you how good of the players in front of
Petrie
Petrie
didn't
are.
start the season. He was a true freshman who was just seeing playtime. He started the second game. He missed.
Guess what?
Yeah, he got.
He also
But
got
he still
held
has
back in
better stats in almost everything.
age.
He has one
He
game.
got held back in
And
high
still
school. They're the
has
same
one more
age.
hit in conference play.
They're the same age, dummy. Condon's older by like 2 months, and you're arguing that a redshirt freshman over getting held back an extra year in high school means anything.
Okay. Hey.
Do you know how many
one game
I've watched runners hit an infield
Yo, I'm
single?
just going to let y'all keep arguing. I'm not stopping. Y'all go for it.
Do you know how many times I've seen a runner hit an infield single straight to Petrie? It'll just be plopping out there. It'll be in
How
Petrie,
many times I've seen
and then his
pretty
little
good
fucking
catch
noodle
out of
arm can't
Petrie
fucking get it to
outfield?
face.
Okay, I'll admit, Petrie's not the most talented arm. He is
Your little
not good
fucking
with arm
arm over
He is
here.
not good with arm talent. He's good with accuracy. But
Middle arm,
he's
middle
really
arm.
bad with arm. His
My
baseball
middle
IQ is really
Noodle
good.
Arm's
And in
gonna win
conference play,
freshman of the year. Noodle Arm's gonna win freshman of the year.
okay, mocking me. Yeah, okay. Okay, he's he's almost .100 higher in OPS percentage in conference play.
Point
In
100.
strikeouts.
Point 100 isn't a thing. That's point 10.
No.
Learn how numbers work. If you don't know how numbers work, why are you arguing a
1.368
statistical
compared to
advantage?
1.284.
I don't
OPS.
trust your number sense anymore. You don't even know what
Oh my gosh. And
tenths
he's
of a
playing.
point
Why did
is.
you ever trust his number since he owes us $144?
Guess what? Off a bad South Carolina takes too against Georgia.
His on base percentage is higher. He gets on base.
In what?
more.
In conference play? It's freshman of the year,
Yes, in
dumbass.
conference play.
It's freshman
Yes,
of
it's
the
freshman
year.
of the year.
Year-
But who performs versus the best pitchers in the country? Not
The
Charlie
best pitchers
Condon.
in the country. Who's played more
Ethan
games?
Petrie is
Who's
Oh
played
my
more games?
gosh. Are we really doing one more game? One more game. Difference.
Yeah, tell him to
And
play
that
another game.
One game.
Tell him to
That
play
one
another
game
game.
was a
Charlie had a
non-conference
game where he
game.
went 0 for 4. So
That-
who said Petrie doesn't have an 0 for 4 game and the stats even out? Because they would. Hey, if you know how math works, if how do you say his name? If Ethan has one 0 for 4 game, he's done. He has worse stats than him.
Yes, he's had a pretty mid series the last 2 weeks because a couple players were out that really affected him as well. But let me tell you
A
something.
couple plays
Overall,
affect.
overall he's been insane.
Did he get shook?
Hey,
Did the freshman get shook? Did he get shook?
Yes.
Is he not good? He hit that
he's
freshman
not
wall.
good. He's
Guess
not
who
good.
hasn't hit the freshman wall?
Obviously,
Charlie
he's not good. I'm
Condon
joking.
does not hit a freshman wall. And you know why his batting average is
Hey,
lower?
and
'Cause
guess
wall-
what? Guess what?
Guess
he
what?
didn't hit
He has
much of a freshman slump. He didn't hit
He hit a-
anything. He just had
he has a
one hit.
noodle.
He was just 1 for 3 in those games. It wasn't
Wow,
bad.
that's
It just
usually
wasn't as
what it is
usual- as usual.
Kun didn't even get to hit against one of the Ole Miss games because they intentionally walked him every time. So you're gonna be like, oh, his slugging's higher. Yeah, he doesn't get a chance to fucking hit.
Yes, his slugging's higher. He hit the same in conference play, homers wise. With runners in scoring position, it's not even close between. When you have runners in scoring position, there's clutch
they
plays
hit-
that actually matter. When there's a
Hmm.
guy, when you want to win, when there's a guy on
Dude,
second and third, and you
dude,
need those clutch
Dude,
runs,
Georgia just
who's
doesn't
gonna be
have
there?
guys
Not
on
Charlie
base.
Condon. What is
Dude,
he
Georgia
doing
just
with 2
dude,
outs?
runners
Look
in
at
scoring
the
position
stats
does
with
not
2 outs.
affect. It,
Oh my gosh!
if
With
if
2
Georgia
outs,
doesn't have runners in scoring
and with 2
position, dude,
strikes,
his
he gets better.
RSVP can be higher.
Georgia doesn't get guys on base. That's their fault.
That's not Georgia. That's not Charlie Condon's fault.
No, it's not Charlie Condon's fault, but it's not like he's hitting good with them on base. It's not.
All right,
performing
what is
to the
his
level
RSI?
Petrie is with
What
runners
is his
on base.
RSIP? What is his RSIP?
Let me pull it up.
RIS. What is the RISP? Tell me.
I have to go to advance. Runners in scoring position. I have to go
All right.
go into the
All right,
ESPN.
y'all have 30 seconds, and then we're gonna do something a little.
Oh, I don't
new.
have 30 seconds for this. So
Well,
good
I
luck.
don't either. So 24, or my bad.
Jackson
You ready?
has
I'll
won
start
his
the countdown.
for, SEC Freshman of
30,
the Year, but Freshman of the
29,
Year, this
28.
idiot doesn't even know how to find that the calendar started in February and ends at
Bro's
the.
just talking because
He
last
thinks-
week,
he thinks it starts at
Condon didn't even touch
play.
Petrie.
All right,
year.
all right, all
Hey,
right.
and Condon didn't even touch Petrie in conference play till
In
last
conf-
week.
It's point
This
two
wasn't even
off.
conversation
It's a
till
point
last
two.
week.
It's a
His team
point
sold
two
him.
differential. It's a point two differential.
All
Point
right.
two.
Time is up. Time is up. All right. So, we're going to do something new strictly because I like arguing, and I know y'all two do as well. So, what we're going to do is I want one of y'all two to pick an argument. Any sports team. Anything. All right. That y'all know that I'm passionate about, and you've heard me, get on y'all at least a good 5 times in the group chats. So, what's something that both of you agree on that I don't when it comes to the SEC?
Oh,
When it comes to the SEC,
Is it Georgia going back to back to back? Is it Bama not winning more than?
I-
yeah, I agree with that.
I agree
I
with
agree
Georgia
with
going back to
Yeah,
back to
I'm
back.
not arguing that because that's just a stupid argument. But I know that both of y'all are very
Yeah,
big
you're gonna use
believers in the
that.
fact that Bama is going to win 10 games this year.
No, I'm not.
We've
I'm
heard,
not believe.
y'all
I
aren't.
have them at 9.
So what do you? Shut up. What do y'all want to argue about? Come on.
Dude, South Carolina is only going 7-5 this year.
You know what? Great topic. Me and Jackson can argue that. You ready, Jackson? I'll let you start. Come on. Let me go ahead and pull up South Carolina.
Tell me how they're going 7-5. Honestly, in an honest debate.
In this?
Hold on, Will.
What?
Hold on.
Are we starting this now?
Hold on. Let me handle Jackson in this one. All right. So let me pull up.
All right, I'll be
schedule.
the moderator.
So you want to know how you're going 7-5? How literally South Carolina's going 7-5?
Are you supposed to be on my side on this? I thought you were supposed to be on my side.
I'm not on
versus
your
Will.
side. I'm not on anybody's side. It's
thought
me
you were
versus
supposed-
you.
You said I'll
It's
be on
me
Jackson
versus-
versus Will.
Jason got jealous of the arguing.
I did. I'm ready to argue. All right, Jackson, do you want to know how South Carolina
God.
walks out of this season with 5 or more losses? I can break them down for you. All right, number 1, and it's
Okay,
going to be
break
a
'em
really,
down,
it's going to
because
be a
guess
really.
what?
I'm
Hey.
ready. Huh? What? Okay, good. All right, week 3. South Carolina plays Georgia in Sanford. Now,
No shit, that's gonna be a loss.
oh my God.
shit.
Damn, them muscles popping out of your neck. Crazy. Let me speak. All right, so it's Sanford. South Carolina always plays great in Sanford, besides like the past couple of years, except for the upset. I would say South Carolina's going to win this game, but because it's Georgia, Georgia's going to have their quarterback situation figured out by week 2.
Jackson. I have to win.
There's no have to if you already know you're going to. All right, week 4, you got Mississippi State. That's fine. Tennessee, you're playing in Neyland.
At home, they suck away. Mississippi State has always sucked away.
I just said
They
that you had that one. Calm your tits. All right, you've got
okay.
Tennessee in Neyland. All right, more than likely it's
I-
going to end
I
up
admit
being
that's
like
a
a
loss.
night
I admit
game.
that's a loss.
Tennessee, that's loss number 2. All right, this next 2 are going to piss you off. Are you ready? Florida loss.
You have Florida as one of the worst teams. No, you cannot seriously think Florida's going to beat South Carolina because guess what? Graham Mertz. Hey, Graham Mertz is absolutely garbage. We've said this multiple times. He might be the worst starter in the SEC.
Jackson,
We're
can I ask
including
you a-
Brady
Jackson,
Hoke,
can I
we're
ask you a
including
question?
Jackson Dart, and he is god-awful. Florida has nothing. They have no offensive line.
all right.
They have barely any wide receivers.
All right, you know what?
Their
You know what?
quarterback
I'm
sucks.
just
Their
I'm just
defense
fucking
sucks.
with him on that one.
What do
I'm
they
just
have?
messing with him. All right. I'll give that one a win to Florida. It's still 2 losses now. But now we're going to come up on the team that you say is mildly underrated, and it's Missouri. And Missouri is
think
literally
we're gonna
going to
lose this
smack
game.
the
I
hell
think
out
we're
of
gonna
South
lose this
Carolina.
game.
So that's 3
Yeah, I
losses.
agree. I think we're going to lose this game.
Texas A&M?
Nah, we're not going to lose this.
Is
South
it at
Carolina's a
Kyle?
better team
Is
than
it at
Texas
Kyle?
A&M. Yes.
Oh.
South Carolina's a better
That's
team.
an-
They beat the streak.
Oh.
They beat the
That's
streak. They beat the streak. You can't.
You
can't.
beat the streak
Hey,
at home and at night.
beat the streak versus A&M. You had a tough slump versus A&M, but you beat it.
Okay.
You beat the slump. You
Oh
aren't
my
gonna
gosh.
lose, especially to a garbage
Congratulations.
team like
Do
Texas
you know
A&M.
garbage?
Hey, Texas A&M went 5-7 last year, did they not?
Jackson,
they did nothing besides
Jackson, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Jackson? Can I ask you a question, Jackson? So, South Carolina's best DB, Cam, just went to the draft, right?
A&M's offense.
Name you a single one. You want Moose? Which one you want?
Their offensive line. On their
Their
offensive
offensive line.
tell
I
me.
don't give a fuck about their
Single
offensive
star.
line. I'm just going to tell you the skill players that are about to just mow your ass down the entire game. All
They
right.
can't do anything.
Jackson acts
What a
like South
garbage
Carolina has a
garbage
defensive line.
Jackson acts like South
Yeah, they
Carolina
do.
has
They
a
have a
secondary.
better one than Texas A&M. South Carolina has a secondary. They have a defensive line and
Do
elite
they?
one too.
So here's my
They
question.
have
an elite
Here's my question real
Yes.
quick, Jackson. So if it's harder to replace a secondary, then y'all are trying to replace, or South Carolina is trying to replace Cam Smith.
South
Who are they
Carolina
replacing
already
it
has
with?
Two highly rated defenders. in
Okay,
the corners.
so they're guarding,
They're-
and I
they're
quote,
like
Aina
really
Smith,
good
Evan
players.
Stewart, Moose Muhammad. So they're guarding all 3 of those all game. Like there's no
Dude,
problem.
okay, Moose Muhammad, I'll admit, is good. Evan Stewart's kind of overrated. And Nia Smith is good. And what are they going to do versus Marcellus Dial, Nick Emanuori, DQ Smith get locked down like they did
Wait a
all
minute,
season?
wait a minute. Can I ask another
They're
question
all
real
better
quick?
players than the offensive players you named.
Another
And I
quick
guarantee
question.
you, they don't even allow more than 100 receiving yards
Another
to a
quick
single
question.
one.
How much would you like to bet on that, Jackson?
$50.
50.
All right, I'm not supposed to talk much this episode, but did you say Evan Stewart is overrated?
I said slightly. Not much. Not much. I said
Crazy
slightly.
statement. Did you see what he did to Bama?
I saw
No, we're
what
not.
he did to Bama.
Yes, Bama
Dude, he
doesn't
made
have
Kool-Aid
great
his
He has
son.
to-
But did you see what he did as a true freshman to Bama? It's
Yeah,
not
I
about
agree.
how great
I-
their DBs are, because SEC
think-
has terrible DBs this past season. But Bama?
Hey, I
All
think
right,
Evan
hold
Stewart
on,
is
hold
good.
on.
I
Let
never
me-
said
let
I
me-
didn't
let me
say
get-
that.
let
I
me
said
get back into my
slightly
point. Let me
overrated
get
because I
back into my
think Luke
point.
Muhammad is better.
Okay, let me get back into my point real quick. All right. So Jackson, we're now at what I'm calling 3 losses, right? With the Texas A&M loss.
I understand that.
Jackson
no.
State, you've
You
got
think
that.
we're gonna beat Missouri?
No. Oh wait, does that make it 4 losses with A&M?
That makes it 4.
Oh, y'all are going for 6 losses,
Yeah.
buddy.
South Carolina doesn't have a single shot to lose back-to-back Missouri and Texas A&M. I'll say that.
Okay,
Texas
you're
A&M's
South
gonna be a
Carolina's
free win.
beat.
It'll be a freer win than Jacksonville State.
Okay, so Jacksonville State, that's a free win. Vandy's a free win now because they don't have Mike Wright. Kentucky, they have Devin Leary. All right, have Devin Leary, and that's actually, I'm fine with giving South Carolina the win over Clemson, but it's
I
Kentucky.
swear to God. I swear to God.
Kentucky versus South Carolina, and you can debate me all
We
you
know
want.
how hard Kentucky plays their their last game stretch. Kentucky's not coming out of that healthy.
I know they're gonna put
Kentucky has a
everything on the
horrible
line.
end-of-the-season stretch. They have a garbage offensive line. They haven't improved it really at all. Their wide receiver core is good. I'll admit that. I think they have the most underrated wide receiver core in the SEC. Them or Missouri. It's
Against
really talented.
which South Carolina DBs?
Yeah.
Marcellus Dial.
Hold on.
Juju Smith.
Wait a minute, everybody. Wait a minute,
Nick
everybody.
Amendola,
Hold on. Will, I'm asking for moderator help real quick.
Yes.
Can you do me a favor and go to PFF, Jackson's Bible, so say, and look up South Carolina's DBs that he's naming for me?
South
Yeah.
Carolina.
Pretty high.
All right,
Oh,
name a
pretty
DB,
level.
Jackson.
Marcellus Dial. Also, wait.
Marcellus Dial. PFF.
Q Smith. Also, here, I'll name another one. I find his
I
name real quick. He was
like
a really good
how
corner.
he doesn't even have a PFF page because he's never fucking played before.
Yes, he has. He's played 2 seasons starting.
Spell his name for us, please.
Marcellasdial.
There is not a PFF page for this man.
Dude, he's played. He started 2 seasons.
Dude, he's so bad he doesn't even have a PFF page.
That's
Hey.
crazy. So who's the next one, Jackson? I'm
Another
ready.
reason he
Who's
doesn't
the
have a
next one? Who's
PFF
the
page.
next one?
I
Who's
don't.
the next one?
O'Donnell Fortune.
What?
Who?
O'Donnell Fortune.
Spell it.
ODONNELLFORTUNE.
What the
He-
fuck?
He also does not have a PFF
He
page.
does.
I'm going to ESPN for
Did.
I'm
Yeah.
going to ESPN. Okay. O'Donnell Fortune has played 3 years. Okay? 3.
3.
All right.
He played
His
really good
tackle
last year.
His total tackle total is 21.
He didn't start for 3 years. He had a couple injuries and
Interceptions last
he
year
really didn't see the
include
field till last year.
2 interceptions. Against which teams, you might ask? Notre Dame,
Notre
which was
Dame.
a 100-yard pick six, and
He also had a forced
Vanderbilt.
fumble.
Dude,
Yeah.
that was against AJ Swan and Tommy Tyler whatever Buckner or whatever. That trash ass quarterback that transferred to Bama.
And he was only a backup. He really did a lot for his reps. He was really good in the time he
Let's
played.
look at Marcellus Dial on
Yeah.
ESPN.
Marcellus Styles crazy. He was our
3
best corner.
interceptions. I bet he was
Not in
your
coverage,
best
but
corner.
he was our
Yeah.
best statistical corner.
No,
Yeah.
he needs to move to safety with 45 tackles last year, 3 interceptions. But let's look at how many yards he gave up.
Hey, do you know why? If a cornerback has 45 tackles and 3 interceptions, that means they suck because
That
they're
means
getting
he's
the
getting
ball
burned.
thrown at them every. That's not good, Jackson.
2022 season stats: 3 interceptions, 12 pass deflections, which he's tied at 16th for that, and 33 solo tackles. Jackson,
That's not
this
good.
DB core is not holding with Dane Key, Barry Brown, or anybody
Yeah,
else.
it
that
is.
can
It did last year.
Oh, with what quarterback?
With-
Tell me that
With
quarterback's
a better
name,
quarterback than Levis. Hey, he did great. He did really good.
dude.
Oh my God, Jackson.
Had a better performance than Levis did all season. last season
Jackson.
versus SEC teams. Versus
If he
SEC
had a
teams.
better performance,
that.
if he had a
SEC
better
teams.
performance, and he's not
You
the
put an injured
starter,
Levis out there who was injured.
and he's not
He
the
had a hurt
starter,
foot. You put
and
him
he
out
had
there.
a
They're
better
gonna win.
performance.
They
What
lose
does
by
that say
more
about South
because
Carolina's
he
defense?
can't move.
What does that say about South Carolina's
It says that they
defense?
got pressures. They got pressures. They had 6 sacks on Kentucky.
But if he performed
And he was
better than
mobile.
Levis did
Imagine
all
with Will
year,
Levis, who can't move his foot,
if he performed better than Levis did all year, in your words, not mine,
versus SEC teams.
versus South
Versus
Carolina's
SEC teams.
defense, what does that say about South Carolina's defense?
You just
Fact that most
proved
of his
you
stats
just
were in the
proved
second
us
half,
right,
not the first
Jackson.
half. It was versus
You
backups.
you just proved us right.
It was in the second half versus backups.
Okay,
Where
so
he
then
did the
going back,
most
so
work.
going back to it, you wanted to say that it was against an SEC defense. If it's backups,
It
and
was
if we're-
against an SEC defense. It was
Wait a minute,
against
wait a
an
minute,
SEC
wait a
defense backup.
Dude,
Wait a minute,
all
wait a
those
minute. Pause,
backups
pause,
are going
pause,
to play this year.
You're not in this conversation. You're not supposed to be. You are a moderator. Shut your ass up. Holy shit.
Okay, hold on. My second question. This O'Donnell Fortune, you said he has not started, right? So that means he
I
was a
said-
backup last year.
Well, he started. He
Which
started
means
the
he got
spring. Not the
torched.
spring game.
Which
He started
means
the. He started the Notre
torched.
Dame game.
Which
He
means
started
he
the Notre
got
Dame game.
torched by this backup quarterback.
Oh, he didn't allow a single touchdown.
They should
He,
score a
he didn't
touchdown.
allow more than any yard at all. He didn't
That's
have a
it.
lot of allowed yards at all.
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to the
Started his
Kentucky
first game versus Notre Dame. He got a 100-yard pick six.
USC
Yes, he did.
game. The Kentucky
Dude, Jackson,
USC game.
I just
He was graded
this
as
is-
one of the
I
best.
don't mean to jump in, but a pick six
Okay.
isn't evident about how good of a player.
Oh my
he
gosh.
is.
Hey, his first
Pick
game
six
started
or
all
luck
season
plays?
where he takes over for, guess what? Darius Rush and Cam Smith, who I'm pretty sure both didn't play. If I'm mistaken, Darius Rush might have played. I forgot. It's been.
How'd
so
you
long.
forget who
But-
played in your bowl game?
Jackson, can I ask you another question real quick? So, if it's such a big thing that none of Kentucky's receivers had over 100 yards in that game versus South Carolina, how come South Carolina's proclaimed god at wide receiver, Juice Wells, had 66 yards? That means he got held under 100
probably
yards,
because-
did he not?
Probably because Noel Loggins is 10 times better than Marcus Satterfield.
How do you know that?
Because
Oh,
Satterfield
this is another
is an
argument we can get
absolute
into.
idiot.
Okay, so, but how do you know that Dowell is going to be the answered offensive coordinator?
Because Dow can run a fast-paced offense where he doesn't
How
have
do
to
you
throw
know he
screens.
was the tight end coach at Arkansas? He did not have any
His,
effort in
his
calling
entire
plays.
offense is to not throw screens.
How do you know this?
We don't want to throw screens
How do
like
you
we
know
did
this?
last year.
How do you
Do you-
know this?
Because
Do you know
that's
who
the
was
entire
second in the
offense.
SEC in screens?
You know who was first? South Carolina.
You know who was second? Arkansas.
Welcome to hell,
Oh, I know.
Jackson.
He wasn't the offensive coordinator.
Okay, but back to my question. How do you know
He
that
didn't
he's
call
not-
the plays at Arkansas.
How do you
he
know?
wanted to,
how
but he
do
didn't
you
call the
know?
plays. Can you
how
guess who
do
called the
you
plays?
know? Dan Enos.
Probably
How do
because
you
the Arkansas
know?
offensive coordinator did
How
left
do
for TCU.
you know that he's gonna be everything that you're saying he's gonna be? How do you know?
Because I've seen how he ran.
What do you mean you've seen how he ran when he hasn't ran anything? He played a spring game, which means you
Ran
don't even.
stuff in the NFL. He's ran a college offense in the NFL. That's why he didn't succeed.
So, what was it? When was the last time he was in the league? What, 9 years ago? In 14
Wait,
with
let
the
me check.
Browns? Do you know how much the game has adapted
No,
since
no,
then?
no, he was with the Jets in 2019.
Did the Browns win a football game in
Did the
2000?
Jets win
2019 and
shit in
2020?
2019? Oh my god.
Jets in 2019 and
Do
2020.
you know how atrociously bad that team was?
Yeah, I do.
So,
And I said he ran a college offense in the NFL. That's why he didn't succeed. He is a.
that's going to be the
hey,
end of this episode.
He was
real
hired
quick.
at a lot of places to be a good offensive coordinator in the NFL.
And he never
He's
was.
a brilliant offensive mind with
All
a
right.
lot of NFL experience.
The winner
He
of
never
this
worked
is
in a
Jason.
college offense. Because you're the biggest dick rider on planet Earth, Will.
I got to get that clip.
Jackson, if you would have won the argument, I would have said Jackson.
You never pick my side for anything, so it's okay.
Because we always disagree. That's why it's fun that we
Alright,
did the
All
argument.
right, so let's go ahead and start with the sign off real quick. What week do y'all think Jackson will be calling for Dowell Logan or Logan's head Week 3,
Week 6.
4, or 6?
I will never
Okay.
call for Darrell Logan's job.
All right,
I can promise my life on that.
clipped. All right, everybody.
This season.
Make
I
sure
will
you
never
check.
call it this season.
All right, everybody. Make sure you check out our sponsorships. Make sure you check out Collegiate Traditions. And if you did not know, we're running a $100 gift card giveaway on our Instagram right now. Make sure you check it out and, follow the rules to enter. It's $100. All you got to do is like, comment, and follow both pages. It's not that hard. Free money. Well, check them out. Use code V2Sports at SeatGeek and Dubby. At Dubby, you can get 10% off any purchase. At SeatGeek, you get $20 off your first purchase on that brand new account as long as it's over $50. And it is not a SeatGeek marketplace ticket. There's a way to filter to see what allows codes. Make sure you check out in our link tree in the bio, Home Field Traditions as well, or Home Field Apparel. You can get 10% off your purchase there using our link. And make sure you just check out all the sponsors. Every single little bit that y'all spend goes back to help make the podcast a little bit better, help get all the, the writers, the graphic designers, the video team, everything, a little bit happier. And speaking of the writing team, check out our website. If you enjoyed these arguments and bold hot takes, make sure to look at www.v2sportsnetwork.com and make sure you check out all of our socials, our Insta, our Twitter, and our TikTok. And as always, good morning, good afternoon, and good night from the V2 crew. Jackson went 0-3. See you boys later.